as Donald Trump apparently chose a dinner with dignitaries, his Saudi Gulf chums, over the dignified transfer of 4 American soldiers who died during a training exercise in Lithuania. Imagine that. The stark contrast in presidential character, that was on full display on 2 separate stages last night. Now, first, we'll cover former President Barack Obama's remarks at Hamilton College in New York about the current state of illicit affairs under your reigning POTUS. And then we'll check out a great moment, a fantastic video from Kamala Harris's return to the stage at the leading Women-Defined Summit. Now, both are examples of poise, character, and concern for the American people, something we don't see much these days coming out of the Oval Office.
You've been briefed about the soldiers in Lithuania who are missing?
No, I haven't.
So before we show you Kamala Harris's last laugh and really incredibly inspiring words from last night, first let's go to Hamilton College in Clinton, New York, where the HuffPost reports Barack Obama says the silent part out loud with unimaginable Trump comparison. Barack Obama didn't need to name-drop Donald Trump on Thursday to take a swing at how conservatives treated his time in the Oval Office compared to the current president. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me or a whole bunch of my predecessors, said Obama as he reportedly drew applause in a speech at Hamilton College in Clinton, New York. The former president, in a speech that attendees were barred from recording, was referring to the Trump administration's attacks against law firms, as well as funding threats towards universities which have been fueled by claims that schools aren't protecting Jewish students from anti-Semitism. The speech was detailed by CNN politics writer-editor David Wright in a thread on X, formerly Twitter. Obama, per Wright's rundown, continued, "Imagine if I had said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with my policies that my administration had initiated, that you would not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the ACA or the Iran deal." He added, "Imagine if I had done any of this. Imagine if I had pulled Fox News credentials from the White House press corps." Obama made an apparent nod to a long-cited double standard he was held to compared to Trump, notably seen in the former president's tan suit controversy back in 2014. Thus far in his second term, Trump has threatened foreign countries with tariffs, which led to stocks taking a plunge on Thursday, not so hot today, and he's booted outlets, including HuffPost, from the White House press pool to his liking. Obama went on to claim that he doesn't think Trump's latest round of tariffs will fare well for the U.S., before noting he's more deeply concerned about a federal government that threatens universities if they don't give up students who are exercising their right to free speech. He said the idea that a White House can say to law firms, if you represent parties that we don't like, we're going to pull our business or bar you from representing people effectively, that kind of behavior is contrary to the basic compact we have as Americans. That compact, well, it seems it's over, and you can't say you weren't warned in September. Now, before we show you video of Kamala Harris's poignant and perfect remarks last night, let's remember just how we got here.
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. And understand what that would mean, because Putin's agenda is not just about Ukraine. Understand why the European allies and our NATO allies are so thankful that you are no longer president, and that we understand the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Prescient. You know, it's not a word that you get to use every day, nor is I told you so, but prescient she was, and told you so she did. Let's check out the inspiring words of Kamala Harris last night as she reemerges in the public eye.
We're saying people stay quiet. We are seeing organizations stay quiet. We are seeing those who are capitulating to clearly unconstitutional threats. And these are the things that we are witnessing each day in these last few months in our country. And it understandably creates a great sense of fear. Because, there were many things that we knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so. I swore I wasn't going to say that. But I'll say this. Fear has a way of being contagious. Okay? When one person has fear, it has a way of spreading to those around them and spreading. And we are witnessing that, no doubt. But I say this also, my dear friends. Courage is also contagious. Courage is also contagious.
Yep, she told us so. She was right then, and she's right now. Courage is contagious. And the faster that people get herd immunity with the courage, then maybe the quicker we can derail the selling off of our children's future. As to what comes to mind after watching Vice President Harris last night, well, to quote John Greenleaf Whittier, for all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these, it might have been.